Unfortunately, I had another red day today. The bleeding just continues. I was kind of my own worst enemy. I made some mistakes. I really should not have been red today. I should be at least break even. And if I do some things differently, I'm actually in profit today. So, yeah, I'm a little bit stepping on my own toes here tonight. But anyway, here we go. So the good news is I only traded half my account, so that's good. I only traded the top four, but we gave back another 200 and almost 300 bucks on these accounts, which is frustrating. But anyway, good news is we're not blowing up the accounts. We haven't blown them up. We are definitely on a red streak, but hopefully we can get back on track. So let's just dive into today. NQ. I did not take any trades on the NASDAQ today. Trade plan today was to look for potential longs off these levels. I didn't take this trade because I was in an ES trade, and I really just didn't take anything. There was nothing really to pay attention to, or that I paid attention to. I did take this trade on ES this afternoon after FOMC. I took the trade right before the press conference, and I was a little bit hesitant to do that, but I decided to take it. This was the trade I was most looking for today, was a move down and a hold of the 50, the daily 50 SMA, the yesterday's low and the overnight low, all ran together right here around the 5610s, 5605s. And so we had these holds come in, took that trade and got out, took the first contract off here. And then the reason where I really mismanaged it is I should have closed this trade here at VWAP. We couldn't get through VWAP. It made several attempts, couldn't get through it, and I should have just closed it, and if we pull back, look for another entry. And I didn't. My rules are, I move my stop to break even after we get the first, or half R, so somewhere here my stop moved to break even, and then I just let the trade run, and the goal is to let it run up to its target. Well, with FOMC, the minutes we move up, we go all the way back down, took me out, wicked, down, I almost got right back in, and I didn't, and that move was a nice move, pulled all the way back down, tested this again, and then we shot all the way up here until we went, stagnant here, end of day. But I certainly mismanaged this one. This trade here was not part of my game plan. I knew it. I did not want to trade in this level. This little pale blue zone is really a no trade area that I had kind of identified today. I took that trade knowing this, but at the time it looked something like this. And we were seeing a very clear hold of this level after this big move back up. And I thought, well, that might be the fuel to take it higher. And it was not. I didn't let that stop me out for a full loss. It stopped out for about $100 loss there. So that was the two trades I took on ES. I took two trades on the Dow. One of them here, this was part of my trade plan today, which was a break and retest of the yesterday highs. My problem with myself on this trade is I noticed when I got in that had just clearly rejected the opening rip up last night, that opening high at the rip up when the market opened at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. It was a clear rejection of that, and that should have been the caution for me to not take that trade. And I ended up taking it, and I took it after hesitating. I should have taken it, when we started to move back out of here, and I just didn't. I waited, and I finally took it. And by that time, we just got a little bit of a move, and I got stopped out. Had I taken that down here, I probably would have closed at least one position and got out break even with some profit. So badly executed there, but really shouldn't have taken that trade. And the last trade I took here was a break and retest. This was end of day. The only real nice, other than this one I missed this setup at noon. This was a beautiful break and retest. That was part of my trade plan. I wanted to take that trade. I just didn't see it. And then I saw this big wick, and I jumped in end of day. Kind of a frustration, desperation trade. That setup was there technically, but just kind of glad I just killed it. It wasn't a big loser, but just kind of added insult to injury. Gold, I took a few trades on gold today. Not overly dissatisfied. Actually, the only one I'm dissatisfied is the opening trade. So my big game plan on gold today was if we broke and tested the overnight low, or this area right here around the 33.94s, if we got something there, I was going to take it long. And I jumped in early this morning after we pushed out, and I really just should have taken it earlier, and I didn't. I waited around, and my thought process was I'm going to go in with 1 micro, and if we get a pullback, I'll go long again. I'll just add to my contract, kind of DCA my way in. And I was really targeting these highs. I was targeting an absolutely huge move, which we sometimes see in gold. But I was very much aggressive. So got in, and I could have got out here with over $100 in profit on a single micro, and I let it go all the way back because I was thinking, well, it's probably going to come back and test this, and then I'll DCA. So this was just completely mismanaged on my behalf. Totally mismanaged this. I did enter somewhere in here. I don't know why it doesn't show up here, but I did enter somewhere in here on another contract, and then I had to move my stop up to protect my $200 loss, and I ended up, taking a 210 or 215 loss. So, really, if you take that away, the day is pretty much even. So just a really badly executed trade there. I got in again here on this little wick up, see how it stopped me out on this wick, and then pushed up, and I got back in it to see if it would go, and I finally killed that trade after about an hour and 15 minutes in profit, but just, we couldn't get anything going. We retested that level here again at around lunchtime. I got in, got out there. I was really just looking for a little scalp. That was a very low risk trade, 1 little micro, and out for about 50 bucks there. And then here, this was a FOMC. We finally had broken out of this kind of range, and so I took it long on 1 micro, again looking for a bigger move. I could have got out there with like 70 bucks, and I didn't close that. So the trades I didn't close today, like this one, I left 70 bucks on the table there. I should have closed this morning. That was 100 bucks left on the table, turned into a losing trade. Big flip flop on the P&L. These 2 trades were just ho-hum. And then this one here that I should have closed this trade right around VWAP. And had I done that at that point, these contracts or these accounts would have been at 0. I would have been basically like a couple dollars green or a couple dollars red, right at break even. And that is after all this gold stuff had happened. I was that's with all of this. It's with this loss here. The only trades I took after this one, this ES trade that I didn't close, the only trades I took was this one, which I wouldn't have taken. That was not an ideal setup anyway. And then the other one I took was this one on YM. So I probably don't even take those trades, and we walk away, basically with a 0 day, which would be a big win. So the big lesson, I was my own worst enemy today. That was the thing that I did wrong. The plan was okay. Execution on some of these trades was okay. Even some of the execution here. These trade setups were fine. I'm fine with it. That was part of my plan. The move didn't happen, and ultimately we kind of fell apart on gold. I get that, and I'm okay with that. I'm not happy with my execution here, but beyond that, I'm okay with it. So, but that's the day. We shall see. We'll see how this thing looks tomorrow. I'm not happy that we really just kind of closed right back in the middle of this channel. I mean, we're right back in the middle. I hate that. We do have unemployment claims tomorrow morning, so we have some 8:30 news. Maybe that'll move the market a little bit, but if we're just continuing to trade in this chop, I have to be very careful. I've got to do something to break out of this red streak that I'm on, and just be a little bit more careful, which I was today. I just mismanaged some trades. I stayed out of this middle with the exception of that 1 trade on ES, that was a trade I shouldn't have taken. But we'll see what this market does, and if we have something in the middle tomorrow, we're just going to try to avoid it and wait till we get a breakout or we get a breakdown below. So that's that. We'll take a quick look at TradeZella just to show you that transparency's sake here today. $1,100 loss, 37.5% win rate. At least it did have a couple winning trades today. Yesterday was all losers. So yeah, we're putting together a pretty red week, $5,000 this week. So that's not the way we want it, but it is reality. So the goal is to try to minimize the losses and not go on to a major tilt session and hang on to these accounts and push them back out. So definitely gave back quite a bit. If I look at the spreadsheet on the week here, middle of the week, 3 days in, we've given back 750, a little over 750 on these upper 4 accounts, and given back about 500 on these bottom 4. So not good, but that's the reality. So I just need to keep my head on straight and try to get out of it. So What else? I think I'm missing something. Oh, tomorrow morning, I will not have time to do a trade plan. I'm going to be tied up all morning, and I really won't get a chance to look at the markets probably until after they open. So I'm going to probably be creating my trade plan after the market opens. So not sure. I'm going to probably be pretty careful anyway tomorrow morning. So anyway, if you follow along that daily trading plan, you won't have one in the morning, and we should be able to have one again on Friday. So also don't forget the Apex sale going on, that 80% off sale, very good sale from Apex. Also the Take Profit Trader sale is going on as well, that 30% off. And again, I just want to say thank you for those of you that use code BCT and support the channel. I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. And once again, thanks for following along. So we'll leave you with that. Hope you had a better day than I did today. And until next time, take care and so long.